Well, hello and welcome, my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love reading for February 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Leo rising. Welcome aboard. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. Making my way to 1,000 subscribers bit by bit, slow and steady wins the race. Having fun as I'm doing it. I'm the fun one, apparently. So please help me get there so I can do super live chat and other cool stuff like that with your subscription today, if you would, please. Thank you. That being said, let's get down to business at hand for this reading. Let's start with this as a general read, right? The Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. It's a lot of people. That's a huge quantum field to mine, M-I-N-E, like a miner, right? Kind of pulling out the themes here. So please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I do lots of private reads, so if you'd like to book me for one, I can get way more specific, particularly with the spread we're going to be doing today, but I'll get to that in a minute. Also, that's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, so you can get percentages of information. I tend to get more because I'm a Pisces moon. I'm a Virgo sun, Pisces moon. I tend to get more accuracy, or at least stuff that really matters to me when I watch Pisces moon reads on YouTube, just saying. So, you know, check it out, feel it out. That being said, this is a Path of True Love reading, and as it says in the description box below, that this is about you. This is about your spiritual path. It's the hero's journey, the warrior's path, the artist's path, the spiritual path, the healing path, the life path, through the lenses of your relationships of all different shapes and sizes and kinds, right? Not just the romantic sexual. We immediately associate with true love with the romantic sexual kind, and I get it, but that's not all there is. The true love between a parent and child. I certainly have that between my mom and I. So, you know what I mean? It's like becoming true love. That's really what it is. It's about becoming an embodiment of fifth dimensional unity consciousness, but through your relationships. And we have relationships whether we want them or not, right? You know, just the way it rolls. Yeah, it's true. So this is going to be about work. This can be about friends. This can be about family. It can be about anything at all. But what it's really about is about you, because you are the connective tissue between all of those different relationships. Cool, cool. And we're going to be doing an old favorite, the Celtic Cross spread. I did a video called Clarifying the Celtic Cross, how I read, for this particular series of readings. It's in the description box below. Go check it out, because everybody does it different. It is a 10-position spread, but we're actually going to be using 20 cards, well, actually 22. We're going to do 10 with the Daughters of the Moon Tarot to represent the gods, the voice of the pantheon of the gods and goddesses that I work with, and the healing with the angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue for the voices of the angels on top of that. So we'll lay out the tarot first, the Daughters of the Moon, and then we'll clarify with those one card each. Then we'll get a whisper of love for you, the voice of the higher self, and of course, because they're my new favorite, the healing mantra deck. Will get one of those Matt Kahn cards for you. Cool, cool. But do check out the video, because I may not explain what every position means in depth. The card, the vibe, I will, but explaining what the position means, that's why I do it there. Cool, cool. Last thing, most important, really, breathe. You have to breathe anyway. I keep saying that every single video, because it's sort of like, okay, the cheapest form of spiritual practice that you can have, that you're going to do anyway, but you just need to, what, be aware of it. That's why. I mean, there's extended breath work. I'm doing the Wim Hof method. If you haven't checked that out yet, that's intense. Talking about getting high on your own supply. Wow. But I've been doing rebirthing work for years and years and years. So all I'm saying is that when you're partnering with your breath here in the present moment, you're going to pay more attention, not just with your eyes and with your ears, but with your attention and your energy field to a reading. So it's good to be present. My God, if you're making cookies, it's good to breathe, right? To bring your self-mindfulness into the present moment. But also, when I do it while I'm doing these readings, and I don't do it as often in this particular spread because I'm only using 4 decks. Usually I do it at the beginning of a draw or a shuffle. It allows me to find the still point within, where the divine source is anyway. It's always in the present moment, in the here and now, but can you find the still point? So it allows me to do that, and if you're doing the same, you are tuning to the same source that I am getting my vibes from, right? The guidance from, the reading from, even which cards to pull, right? And I teach tarot, so believe me, there's more psychology than parapsychology involved in this stuff. I know, and that's why to focus on the breath really plugs you in to all sorts of information in the unconscious mind as well. Cool, cool? So let's do this. Take a nice deep breath, and let's tune for my brother, sister, Leo Pride family. Remember, I'm Leo rising, so I got a stake in this fucker too. So let's have fun. We're fifth housey, right? Let's have some fifth housey fun. Nice deep breath. Find that still point. Ah, my gods. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, please. For this Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love for February 2020. Where are they on the path of true love? My gods and goddesses, please show me where they are on the path of true love, this Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. Show me where this collective is on the path of true love for February 2020. Thank you so much. Maiden, Mother, Crone, Maiden, Mother, Crone. Now all I'm going to do is set them down over here so I don't reshuffle them unconsciously like I do when because I'll sit there and just shuffle. It's a card reader tick, I think. So here we go. I'm just going to draw off the top of the deck. Let's build this Celtic Cross, starting with position number 1. The cover. What is the card that covers you, my Leo? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Well, talk about out the fucking gate. We're happy. We're happy. 10 of Cups, Inanna's House of Heaven, the Ecstasy card, right? Not just a happy. Happy's the ace in this deck. We're talking ba-boom. Element of water, granted, fire sign. But there is that thing. Look, there are many people indicated here, but not necessarily many people involved on the path of true love in this ecstatic moment. I mean, that's a little orgiastic. It's a little hot tub time travel there for me. I miss my hot tub. I grew up with one. That being said, there is definitely that overflowing of emotion. Kundalini, yes, that tends to be more fire, but if you get that idea of all that emotion, and that one just feels really lovely. Can't wait to see what clarifies that with the angels, but let's keep moving on. What is the card that crosses you? That is the situation or the environment that you, as a 10 of Cups, find yourself in. Ah, my favorite card in the whole deck, the 3 of Pentacles. I know, it's just a 3, but I'm a Virgo, and I love this card. Clay Woman takes the dirt beneath her feet, makes something beautiful and practical in the initial stages of creation, right? It hasn't gone in, the clay has not gone into the kiln yet, right? The kiln, the oven, that's the element of fixed fire, Leo, if you like. So it's still in the shaping of it, the molding of it, the editing of it, right? It's like I do these videos, this is totally part of my creativity. My artist archetype sits in the house of Leo with the god Apollo. This is really my artistic outlet. I mean, I get to be clairvoyant, which is very Apollo, third eye Leo. But at the same time, there's that editing process, which my Virgo self gets into the detail. What music do I want to use, and where do I fade in and fade out, and stuff like that. When the cats are doing crazy shit, how do I edit that out if I edit it out, right? So it is that. So the situation that we're in right now with this ecstasy. Now, I have to say, I can relate to this personally as a Leo rising because I've been doing all this breath work. Oh my God, talk about getting high on your own supply. But in terms of the path of true love now, I will say for myself, I'm experiencing the divine ecstasy between me and the divine because I'm kind of glad I'm single right now. I got out of a toxic dealio. Done, right? For a while, we'll see what happens next. But at least I know, I'm not in a codependent anything, right? I'm not in an abusive, neglect, found nothing. I'm me and my gods, and we're having a good time, right? So that's what I mean. In a quantum collective, this could be manifested through any number of different ways. It's so fascinating. I love tarot. And that the situation here, something physical, something Three of Pentacles, right? Like we have, I always say for the Three of Pentacles, it's like you've got the flour, the sugar, the vanilla, the eggs, the everything you need, the butter to make cake, but it ain't cake, right? You have all of the ingredients, but you have to put that all together and then let the fucker bake, right? And to then give it time, because you don't want hot batter. You want cake. Although hot batter sounds like it would be kind of tasty if it wasn't too hot. Just saying, hey, we'll eat cookie dough, right? So let's keep going. What's under that? What is in the third position here, which is the core? Yes, the subconscious influences, but also to an extent the soul, because your subconscious is not your core. Your core is your soul. That immortal, eternal part that kind of knows everything. Yeah. Well, we're looking at decisions, okay? The Eight of Blades. Now, the Eight of Blades in the Rider-Waite Tarot, I always flash back to that one because it's like being hogtied, right? It's like being hamstrung, trapped in thought, trapped in a belief system. I love that she reinterprets it this way. Fiona Morgan, Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Chokhmah. Israeli desert goddess of the winds, right? And so many blades spinning around her. So she's not just juggling, she's juggling scythes. Not just blades, scythes, little sickles, right? So to incision, decision, right? So a decision has to be made, but it's an internal. Now, here's the thing about decisions, and I've said this before. There's a difference between a choice and a decision. To me, the difference is voltage, where every choice has a consequence and every decision has a consequence. The consequences of a decision tend to be life-changing, where level of choice, level of consequence. For example, like I'm trying to get 4 of these videos done today. But it's my friend David's birthday tomorrow, so we might hang out tonight, we might hang out tomorrow, right? So I have some choices to make. Am I going to do 3 videos, 4 videos, 5 videos today? It's a choice. I mean, yes, there's a consequence, but I'm going to make it up the balance in the next couple of days anyway. I'm going to get these done on time. I'll just throw in an extra video somewhere or get them all done today, which is ridiculous. I'm not doing the rest of the Zodiacal series in one day. That's crazy. That'll drive me nuts. With the editing alone, that'll drive me nuts. But a decision, especially a soul level decision, perhaps even, well, because of this element of water here, I'm just going to go this Ten of Cups with this kind of deeper gut feeling decision that something's coming and a big decision will be made that will be life-changing. That's like, okay, I'm moving to Hollywood to be a YouTube star. Which, why would you move to Hollywood to be a YouTube star? You could do it from your living room. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I'm going to move to Brazil and raise coffee beans, grind my own, right? It's life-changing, right? Even a tattoo to that point kind of is life-changing unless you have it removed, right? So the difference between a choice and a decision here, but in that third position, I'm going to wait a little bit on tuning into that too much, because remember, fingers are in the clay right now, right, in this situation. So what is this decision about? Is it about the clay itself, right, that Three of Pentacles moment, or is it about something larger? Let's keep going. Recent past, what got you here? Or what's behind you? The name of the card is behind. That's how I remember it. What's in your behind? Let's see what's in your behind. 10 of Blades. So a resolution, a mental resolution, a full circle of some kind, communication, everything came out, all the pieces of the puzzle on the table, some clarity. Now what I love about this card, 10 of Swords, swords in the back in the mud, but the sun's rising. This is a lot cleaner for me. This is very much the talking stick has been passed. The name of the card is the rattle, right? So you pass the talking stick. No one talks unless they have the talking stick, in this case the rattle. And whoever doesn't have the rattle has to listen to the person with the rattle, right? So even if this is you really voicing all of your different thoughts about something totally within the self, keep in mind we're going from a 10 in the past to the 10 of the present, so it brings you to ecstasy, whatever this was, some clarity, some resolution, really is giving you this emotional juice going on here in the present moment. So coming from a really, really interesting place. Now, because we've got 2 tens, that certainly indicates a completion of some kind. Maybe there's a decision to be made in terms of the new cycle of air and water, although the distance in time between these 2 tens, the past of the 10 of blades and the present of the 10 of cups, is going to be different for different people in the quantum field. It's just how it's going to work. Because for some of you this might have been last month or a year ago, and for some of you it might blend seamlessly one into the next, because we all do our paths differently that way. Sometimes it's just slingshotty and it all happens at once, right? You wait, and then bam, all at once. So let's see what's happening in the crown. The crown is sort of like the immediate future. Sometimes it's like a download, like what's coming in, maybe even in this reading for you in this moment or soon after. Sort of more immediate future, but situationally in a timeline, more about the present moment, right? So what is the crown? The sun. Happiest card in the deck. Hence this deal, right? Hence that ecstasy, Inanna's House of Heaven, 10 cups overflowing. This is a card of wholeness and health and happiness and clairvoyance in the, almost in the crown chakra sense, not even the third eye, that really seeing things, maybe even seeing the larger picture, not quite revelation, but that clarity. Like, oh my God, I get it, it's clarity. And that could certainly come after all the pieces of the puzzle were on the table, and certainly is going to be informing some decision. And I am feeling that, because again they're reflexing into my head, the Rider-Waite version of this, blindfolded and bound, right? It's like, well that's not the case anymore, so maybe now this larger life decision can be made, life change, or maybe even a decision about the way you want to look at things, or creativity. Again, I don't, the sun doesn't really clarify that, but it does enlighten it, right? It shows that now that's why there's a decision that's being mulled over, but inside, like you might not be talking about it with people, but yet your fingers are in the clay. But only a 3, right? Only a 3. So what's that 6th position before you? What's before you on the path? Sort of like not a little bit more than immediate future, but correlated to the past card, the card number 4, the 10 of blades, and the 3 of pentacles. So we've got 4, 2, 6. That even numbers create a horizontal line of timeline, past, present, future. Major Arcana card, but the Coyote. There are 2 devil cards in this deck. This is one of them. She doesn't call it the devil because it's not a patriarchal deck. It is a matriarchal deck, if you will. It's a feminist deck. So we're looking here at the Trickster. Now, as far as the Trickster archetype goes, every pantheon has one. Loki, Hermes, I mean, I can go on. I speak mythology like most people speak grocery list. This is about the saboteur in some ways, but the saboteur that can be teaching you something vitally important. So in terms of a life decision, I'm going to say mull it over a little bit longer, because there's a trickster to play itself out. Now, I can see how this fits into my life a little bit. Absolutely. Like I said, particularly with that ecstasy card with the breath work and stuff. Well, if I do start dating, look, I get hit on a lot online, and sometimes it just turns my stomach, because it's the approach. Like, I am a Virgo, and I am a Pisces moon. I can read you for shit. I can read you for filth. You come at me all like gross and sleazy and whatnot, I'm just like, bleh, right? Bleh. I just feel it. It's visceral, right? So I've been like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with my gods, my angels, my masters, my higher self, and let's breathe, right? We'll see what happens while I do these videos. But it does feel like that they're starting to buzz around, and I have a feeling, I'm like, okay, I'm recharged, bring them on, right? Who's the next trickster up? Done, on to the next one, done, I'm done, and I'm on to the next, you know what I mean? Yeah. So a trickster's a coming. Now, like I said, Saint Germain, the Ascended Master, is the trickster of the Ascended Masters, right? So it's essentially all tarot cards are neutral. But what I'm getting for this, considering it's a major arcana card, and the other major arcana card is the Sun, then where we're coming from with that crowning of the Sun is we're going to be tested. We're going to be tested maybe by something that appears one way but is really another, right? So hold off on that decision making. See what's going to happen, right? Hey, keep gathering information, because there's a tricky sticky in here. Are you going to trust your guide? Are you going to trust yourself? Are you going to trust your guidance? Look, we all fall prey to it. Even I do. We all fall prey to romantic illusions, or even not. If this, again, nothing here is screaming romance yet. This could be about a family member. This could be anything on the path of true love. But really, in the place that you are right now, be careful what's coming. Better to be forewarned than forearmed. Now, I will say the 6th position, like the 10th position in the Celtic cross, there's usually things that you can do. If it's something you want to avoid, you can. You just have to learn the lesson in a different way. However, when it's major arcana, I don't know. I don't know. I think that's one of those fated things. It's a life lesson thing, but we will certainly look at your next position. This is the microcosm, right? This is very linear. Now we look at the macrocosm, and that's the larger picture. And that starts with the universal learning template, or the lesson, what the gods are trying to teach you. Since we've got the trickster that we know has a teacher element in it, let's see what we got. Okay, the 7 of Cups. Now, before I show you the image, because there's a word on this card that I want to get this out first before I say it, because it really changes the energy of the card for the person who I'm reading. The 7 of Cups, if you think about it, it's those castles in the sky, right away, right? And each one's got a different thing in it, and the clouds, and there's the one in the middle. You can't really see what it is. It's kind of sort of the mystery of it all. You know what it is, but you can't see exactly what it is. Well, think of that in terms of fantasy. It is the 7 of Cups, right? It's that, oh, I want that, I feel that, I feel that, I want that, and all of these things are supposed to give us satisfaction, but really, can they? Do they, or are they illusions? Well, this card, take that image, but do it with the word jealousy attached to it. So an emotional upset as a result, perhaps, of something imagined. Now, I'm not saying that jealousies aren't real. When someone's jealous, someone's jealous. I mean, the green-eyed monster. So funny they call it the green-eyed monster, considering envy, sort of jealousy's bigger, more twisted older sibling, is the deadly sin of the third eye. There are 7 deadly sins. There are 7 chakras. It is the one of the third eye. So is it that intense, right? That seems like really heavy duty to call it jealousy every time the card hits the table. But we can certainly say even jealousy is a projection, right? Something you won't let yourself have or are not ready for that you see somebody else having and you're upset about it. That's really what jealousy is. You can say, and I like this from the inner child point of view, I think Matt Kahn tipped me off to this, that jealousy, even envy, is often the inner child. It's like, when the fuck is my turn? I want that. Well, I've been waiting. I've been good. I've been doing my spiritual sit-ups and my devotion, right? Like, spiritual busy work is not the way to manifest reality, considering there's a quantum field. You're going to get what you want, but when you're ready for it, and what's on your plate is to get you ready for it. Done, right? But when you get hit by a 7 of Cups kind of deal, if it is jealousy or envy, there's an emotional component there that needs to be addressed and might very well be a lesson. Now, the trickster part of it, though, it may not be you who has the jealousy issue. I don't know. I think the more you pray, the more you meditate, the more you kind of experience oneness as a, let's put it this way, energetic reality rather than just a theological, philosophical concept, jealousy kind of wanes a little bit. But have you been on the other side of somebody's jealousy? And you don't know that, right? So you keep an eye on that. Because jealousy, people do crazy shit. It is the envy, the deadly sin of the third eye, makes totally sane people key people's cars, right? It's just crazy. It makes literally the deadly sin of the mind, right? I mean, they're all toxic. But if we're really going to look then at the 7 of Cups here, then there's something really about, you got to see clearly to feel balanced, right? Those castles in the sky, they may all be ideas, right, of that you want, visualizations even. But then again, so are addictions, right? These things are not going to give you the satisfaction that you want, the fulfillment that you want, but you think, you believe they will, right? Tricky, sticky. But a really, really, really good lesson, particularly if the jealousy is not you. If it's somebody in your environment, because you're having such a good time, someone wants to shit in the punch bowl for you. Thanks, Grandma. In my day, we didn't have text messages. We bled on a rock and hooked it into the next cave. Thanks, Grandma. You know, both my grandmas have crossed. Blessed be both of them. They were fun. One more so than the other. Okay, let's look at the 8th position, which is how you appear to others, or how I like to say it, how the world sees you. More horizontal, though, not from above. That's transcendental. Horizontal, like how people are looking at, how people are seeing you, but also how people might be projecting onto you. In other words, just because people see you a certain way doesn't mean you are that way. You don't have to accept people's projections of you, right? Just because they say you're this or that doesn't mean you're this or that, but maybe they are this or that. It's a lot of this and that. So, ready? 8th card, 8th position. Who we got here? Well, from the outside looking in, we've got the Gemini card. How fun, right? Gemini, considering you're a Leo, this is about mutable air. Communication, self-expression, 3rd house. Now, if people are seeing you this way, then this is not as zodiacal as we really are talking about that 3rd, that you are expressing yourself, and why wouldn't you be? You've got this ecstasy card fountaining through you, right? Crowning with the sun, got your hands in the clay, with some kind of decision in the subconscious. Maybe you don't realize that decision is coming yet. So as people see you perhaps in a place of, well, let me try this, and let me try that, and let me think that, and let me think that, and let me think that. And certainly being probably verbal about it. Yes, self-expression nowadays is a little different with cell phones and texting and, you know, Instagram and pictures and videos and stuff like that. Yes, it's all a means of self-expression. But I want to see what the angel card is for this one too, because with zodiac cards they can be a little wonky that way. But in this position, it's really not about another person. This is about someone seeing you as a Gemini. And of course, if you have Gemini in your chart somewhere, I'd have a look at that. Because then that might be very specific for some of you there. Let's keep moving. Destiny. Where are you on the hero's journey of the path of true love? It's not going to tell you what your destiny is on the path of true love. No one's told that. You get flashes, you get pieces, but it's showing you sort of on the GPS where you are in terms of manifesting your highest destiny on the path of true love. All right, another water card here. Now again, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with this 7 of Cups, because this is the 4 of Cups. It is about emotional release in this deck called Sorrow. Now, sorrow is just an expression of emotion, and here you are self-expressing, right, and how the world sees you. So there's definitely a showing of yourself. Now, are you showing your hand, your decision, or not? Again, it might be so subconscious you're not aware of it yet, but some of you kind of get the feeling, oh, I feel, not even I think I know what that is, I feel I know what that is. It can be like, I don't think I'm into this anymore. I'm really into, but it's gonna, if I'm gonna go into that, I'm gonna have to make a life change here. So, emotional release, look. All right. Ecstasy, when you are really feeling joy, brings tears to your eyes. So it can be the releasing of toxins through joy. Like I say, look into breath work. I mean, make sure you're healthy first. It's not the easiest thing. It's not just, no, it can be rigorous depending on the programs you work with and the methods and the techniques, right? But definitely there's an emotional release that may very well be because you flushed yourself with this bliss, this ecstasy as the result of that 10 of blades in the past. Some realization, recognition with the sun down on it all. I mean, so positive, so loving. Yes, can there be a letdown? But get that this part of the Celtic cross, it's macrocosmic, right? This is about what's going on in your life on a much bigger scale than just this timeline. But you could say that the cross is integrated into the staff along the side. In other words, this is the larger quantum part of it. This is how we're seeing it in the quantum. Oh, it's a good way of saying it, right? So that card of sorrow, yes, it may mean sorrow, but it might be the releasing of emotional pain now that your energy field has been electrocharged, right? Supercharged, hypercharged with this emotion of ecstasy, bliss, love, higher power, vibrational chakra, schmakra, you know what I mean, right? It can absolutely squeeze some stuff out of you. Just like if you were to stop drinking coffee and just drink water for 48 hours. Oh, the God, the pain, the detox of the caffeine leaving the body. I'll never fucking do it again. I'll drink coffee till I'm dead. Thank you very much. It's not enough Alka-Seltzer or Excedrin migraine on the planet. Doesn't really help. Never doing that again. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, gonna do a dietary cleanse? Yes, I'll have an espresso with that. Thank you very much. Though some people use them for enemas. I can't imagine doing that to good coffee. Let's move on to your last card, your outcome. Because really, we're going to put the angel cards. I think that's going to soften that sorrow card quite a bit, as well as jealousy. I want clarity on those. See, when I'm reading a private client sitting across the table from me, I can go get other decks. I can go get other systems, right? I can use all sorts of cool stuff. You have no idea how much magic is loaded in that briefcase? Bookcase behind me. Final card, outcome. Again, mutable, changeable. Maybe. Well, but worth it. Especially in terms of that decision. Hanged Man. Well, in this deck called Reversal. Now, you probably can't see it, but she is hanging from her knees across a branch, right, into a river that is certainly moving in a direction, right? So, the thing is her face above water, her eyes are closed and sort of meditative, but her face reflected in the water, much more relaxed, at peace, and sort of smiling, right? Almost like a Mona Lisa, like a contemplative smile. More of the inner being revealing itself. So yeah, waiting on the will of heaven there, right? Surrendering, sacrificing a point of view, and it immediately made me look to this card in terms of this decision, that it doesn't mean you're surrendering the decision, it just might not be time yet for it. Good, good. Got our basic 10-card skeleton here. Let's add another layer, shall we? From the angels, nice deep breath, please. Still point. My angels, there you are. Please. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross. For this Leo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for February 2020, please. Top 10 cards. Where are they on the path of true love? Celtic Cross spread. February 2020. Show me where they are on the path of true love. This Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Path of true love, Maiden, Mother. Crone, February 2020. I know that was a little disjointed, but there was a lot going on up there. So like I did for that one, see they're all in all of them, but these are on pieces of selenite so that they hold that vibe for me. So we're going to start clarifying with that 10 of Cups. I mean, such a great start, right? So ecstasy, the gods say ecstasy, 10 of Cups. Well, okay. Inanna's House of Heaven. Inanna is totally about the descent into the underworld, finding her sister Erishkigal and embracing the shadow. You might want to look it up. So what do the angels have to add to that? Divine guidance. So this is how you got there. Did the last spread start with divine guidance? I think it might have. That would have been the Cancerian one. Go check. You might want to go have a look. It's early in the read. There's something here then about this perhaps being a divine ecstasy thing. Yes, of course we're divinely guided all the time. Do we play along or not? Do we know or not? But for where you are right now on the path of true love, my Leo darlings, there is definitely some divine intervention going on here, particularly on an emotional level. And you can take these feelings of love, of bliss, as divine guidance, because God is love. The divine is love at our core. That's who and what we are. So just like Carolyn Mace will say, misery is intuitive as well. Like if you're really miserable, that's intuition telling you your soul is ready to move on. But then so is an ecstasy and bliss. It's not like you feel it every day, all day long. I mean, unless you do, then what the hell you need a reading for? Just saying, right? So what is the situation? Position number 2. What is the environment that you, so ecstatic and divinely guided, are in? You've got the 3 of Pentacles with freedom. So you really do have the freedom to put your fingers in the clay and create. Now, 5th house, Leo, creativity and good fortune, right? Everybody says pleasure, sure. But that creativity and good fortune is as 5th house as it gets. That's why luck and gambling and stuff like that, right? So to really get into your creativity, that it need not be set in stone right now, and that might be part of this decision-making process too. Can't believe I didn't see that earlier, because the clay is still clay. It has not been baked yet, metaphorically speaking. Let's look then at this card of decisions. What, oh come on, 8 of Blades. What do we have with her? All right, with power. So the angel of power is talking about this is a powerful decision. So this is probably life-changing, or at least the means through which the decision is made may be powerful, like telling somebody something, like expressing yourself. It's definitely a decision of it's going to change somebody's life, even if not your own directly. It feels, they're showing like concentric circles, like an explosion that then has those waves, or epicenter of an earthquake kind of rippling out that way. But with the winds, you know, play with the metaphor as you will, still a decision that's going on. There's definitely something going on a soul level here that's powerful. And I could see where somebody, sometimes when we feel fear, it's the intuitive voice that a big change is coming and there's potential of loss. Right? And that's the child. It's like, I don't know what it is, but I could lose. We could lose something. Keeping in mind that there is no gain without loss, right? It's just how the cycle of life, the circle of life, etc. So, like I said, with that Hanged Man, the reversal card at the 10th position, and the Trickster, maybe you want to hang off on that decision right this red hot second. The past, what's in your behind? You got 10 swords in your behind. You got the rattle in your behind. But there comes that resolution that leads to this ecstasy card, and crowned by the sun. What do the angels say about that? Why wouldn't it? There was actual forgiveness. The angels are saying forgiveness. That this resolution really was a resolution. Something was laid to rest. Something was healed. Now, maybe that was done mentally within yourself, and now the rest of this is sort of you extricating yourself, perhaps, from something, could be, or maybe getting your hands in the clay and creating something new as a result of this space, right? But that this decision, this life-changing decision, it really is stemming from this mental puzzle piece. All the voices have been heard with forgiveness, which at core, forgiveness isn't about what you did is okay. I mean, go read Course in Miracles. The whole book is about forgiveness. But the version of forgiveness that we were taught is toxic. It's based on the Newtonian, not the quantum. That we're only forgiving people because they did something when they were possessed by pain, and that it had to go that way so that we would learn the things. In other words, we're all souls that were chosen to play roles in bodies with names, with personalities, with dysfunctions, so that the soul would learn to grow faster in this environment through adversity, through pain, through betrayal, through lies, through abuse, neglect, codependency, and loss, right? That's the things that make us grow and realize we are love, that we are all one, right? So some forgiveness there, but it really brought all the pieces of the puzzle together. Might not have been communicated to others, though, is the thing, particularly with this this Gemini dealio going on here with jealousy and that card of the 4 of Cups. So we'll get there. I'll plug all that together, because what I really want to see now is this card, your crowning card, the Sun, Amaterasu, Japanese goddess of the sun. What's the angel say? Oh, there we go. Romance. This could be a new romance come in the door, though, as a result of some forgiveness of your past. That could have you on top of the world, looking down on creation, and the only explanation you can find is the love that you found ever since they've been around. They just put you at the top of the world. I did not write that. Sometimes I do that with millennials, and they kind of gloss over. They're like, how do you do that? Like, I was a carpenter in another life. Jesus? Oh, yeah. No. Look, we've got the next card down, the Trickster here. So I'm just going to say, that as far as this powerful inner decision goes, I'm not saying... Look, the bliss, there's a divine guidance thing here, but remember, there's a Trickster lesson here, too. This is romantic. There we go. Like I said, now it's romantic. You really do have to look at the possibility of you tricking yourself, someone tricking you tricking them, or the gods tricking you all. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to work out well and for the well-being of all. This is for 1 month, right? This is for the month of February, or timeless whenever you see it. And keeping in mind that the hangman at the end does not indicate how things are going to go. It just means a surrender and a sacrifice of some kind. It can be the way you look at things. So if there is some sort of sabotorial, trickster, lying, deceptive energy going on here, just think Wile E. Coyote, right? Perfect example. This is Coyote Woman, the trickster. So what do the angels have to say to that? And that is in direct response to the card of the sun with romance, because they're both major arcana, the sun and the trickster. In this case, the devil card. What do the angels say? Okay, good. Divine timing. Good. So this need not necessarily present itself as a person so much as an aspect of divine timing. Whew. Okay. Because immediately my solar plexus just went, oh, good. Oh, good. Because the thing about divine timing is, oh, fuck, it's tricky. Divine timing doesn't mean you're going to get what you want, but it doesn't mean you're not going to get what you want. Huh? It means if divine timing is involved, this is something that is important to the path of true love in terms of the quantum field. Now, those who will say that every breath you take is important to and written and scripted and part of divine timing, maybe yes, maybe no. But in terms of this romance, what's tricky about it is it might be a thing of timing. Remember, here you've got this card of freedom and a decision to make here that the timing might not be right. As much as you may want to take this further, for now you may not be able to, particularly with that hangman card reversal in the last position. Just saying. Maybe that's not for everybody, but I think as a tarot reader, just with what's on the table so far, it's kind of pointing in that direction. But at least I'm not feeling that there's betrayal, deception. There might be internal betrayal and deception, but not feeling that this is an actual person, like there's a personification here. In fact, we only have one court card, and it's the Gemini card, and I don't know that it's connected to this at all, because it's from the outside looking in, looking at you, right? How the world sees you. So here with this trickster card, the devil card with divine timing, sometimes the devil's in the details. It's the tricky shit, just working it out. But if it's in divine timing, that's almost like when I pulled the card, I was like, oh, thank God, right? That relief. It's like, honey, it's divine timing. You can't speed it up. You can't slow it down. Maybe this is the return of somebody that you could not have been with before, for whatever reason, season, or lifetime, past life, this life, who knows. But there's a trick of the divine here, no question. Right? The divine timing trickster is Hermes. I'm just saying. Sweetheart. It's right up there. Let's clarify then, now that we've got your microcosm, very, very interesting, cool layout here. Tricky, and 2 major arcana cards. You've got 3 total. At least one's in your outcome here. Let's look at this 7 of Cups, again, called jealousy, but I want you to kind of think of that fantasy thing. Well, because remember, you're also perhaps flying high in this ecstasy here, there, and everywhere. So the lesson of perhaps jealousy, but perhaps just emotional states brought on by things that aren't necessarily true. And we all fall victim to our own fantasies and our beliefs in them. So what do the angels have to say about this 7 of Cups jealousy? Healing. healing. This is about emotional healing. This is about healing from emotional fantasies. Now look, I'm a Pisces moon. Am I prone to it? Yeah, I try and keep it in check. But then when the symbols and the signs of the universe are kind of lining up like a James Redfield parade, it's a little specific, Celestine prophecy, first insight, then you know it's tricky as hell. If, however, this is a jealousy thing as well, remember I said with this Trickster card could very much be someone being jealous towards you, maybe you not being the jealous one. You may very well learn how to deal with the emotional upset by broken fantasies and illusions, and or learn how to heal jealousy within yourself or someone else. Now, jealousy, again, not so much am I getting envy. Envy is like deadly sin level. This does not feel this way. This feels like, however, you may have to deal with some jealousy in order to heal. In order for things to heal, someone's going to have to voice it, right? Say it. And it's going to have to be dealt with. Because you have to feel it to heal it. You can't acknowledge it's there unless you felt it, right? So whatever rises, you know, and thank you very much, whatever is rising up inside of you needs more love, not less. It just don't act on it. Don't key anybody's car. You know, don't set someone's house on fire. Be sane. Be legal. Go lay down. Take a nap. If you're depressed, take a nap. Deep rest, right? If you're angry, give yourself space. Vent. But careful. Jealousy makes people do crazy shit. Don't do crazy shit. Heal instead. That's your lesson. Don't do crazy shit from jealousy. Heal instead. From the outside looking in, how the world sees you, though, we've got this Gemini card, rather self-expressive, and as I said before, I get it. I would too, if I had a romantic sun shining over my head, so to speak, and this ecstasy of divine grace moving through me, and the freedom to play with the clay. Yeah, powerful decision. See how that all works? Tricky divine timing there, coming from a place of forgiveness. Got a jealousy healing issue here. I'd have something to say about that. So with this Gemini card, what do the angels say? Yeah, ideas and inspiration. So you may not necessarily be talking about this. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. But definitely people see you as a communicator, an expressor of ideas and inspiration, which means you inspire people, that there's something inspiring here, or you're giving people ideas in a Gemini mercurial mutable air kind of way, which usually sounds like speaking or writing or expression in some way. Again, that is our only court card here. So if there was going to be another person indicated here, it would be there, but that's how people see you, right? So again, if you got Gemini in your chart, check it out. Because in the 9th position here for destiny, we've got, again, the 4 of Cups, which is usually 3 knocked over, 1 that's still standing. That is true here as well. That's pretty traditional. But to immediately call it sorrow, I don't know. What I love about this card, though, is the moon is crying with her. You're in full moon. Tonight's actually, well, tomorrow, 2:23 a.m. Eastern is full moon. Which is why I'm wearing my witch garb today, just a little witch drag for you all. It's for me. The moon is crying with her, right? But there, she's seaside, the waxing and waning, the waxing and waning. That if there is emotional release is where you are right now. Is it all about sorrow and loss? Perhaps. But maybe it is the healing of the heart. You know, grief, which is different than sadness, sort of like jealousy is different than envy, maybe a difference of intensity. Grief is love that doesn't know how to express itself, right? Because the object of love, not the source, the object of love, the target of love has gone. Death, divorce, distance, particularly distance is hard when they're in the same room and you're a million miles away. So it's that love trying to find itself. To give love a voice, absolutely essential. But to give the one that grieves the child voice, right? To allow it to feel what it's feeling. It's like love that's in a fist, right? All bunched in on itself. Give it room to breathe. It hurts like hell, but it transforms you. Carly Simon quote, there's more room in a broken heart. I can't believe I just did a Carly Simon quote, but I love her. Bless her heart. Let's ask the angels then with this card of sorrow, right? There's a lot to explain here, but it is where you are on the path of true love, keeping in mind again that with this other positive energy going on here, this might very well be like tears of release of joy and ecstasy. Interesting. With manifestation, right? An angel literally like drawing something into form with her power. With the manifestation of sorrow, of loss, of Four of Cups, it's a manifestation of emotional release that may not just be about one thing. You might be going through a phase of emotional release, particularly if this romance is really intense. I'm not going to even go there, whether it's twin flame or soulmate, because it's irrelevant right now, the type of the contract. But there's definitely this feeling that I get here, that with the manifestation of sorrow or emotional release, a manifestation of loss of some kind, that you are dealing with other times where love was lost. Not really lost, but that love lost its ability to express itself as love, has been made into grief and is stuffed in the cell tissue, so to speak. Has to come up for that. So then that would make sense with part of the healing here. If this card is not about jealousy, then this is about emotional healing, showing up again as something manifesting for you on the path that triggers that. And it might be a divine timing issue because you're over the fucking moon, but you can't be together, or there's a timing glitch there where you're with somebody, there with somebody. Tricky shit. Which leads me to this last card down, the last of the major arcana. It is a major arcana, the last of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Here we've got, again, the Hanged Man. Now remember, on the outside, eyes closed, contemplative. On the inside, there is a smile. There is a knowing. And that's when I feel we're looking at this life-empowering decision, right? Powerful life decision, or a life-empowering decision. So for this card of reversal, my angels, what say you? Spiritual growth. There you have it. That you're gonna take the spiritual growth thing. You're gonna have to say, okay, what's spiritual growth in this case? It's saying, okay, I am going to surrender my way of looking at this, that somehow all of this is happening for my benefit and for the benefit of this romantic experience. Whether or not we're together, a reason, a season, or a lifetime, whether we were together, aren't, now are again, but can't, but will in the future, who the fuck knows, don't know. I surrender, I let go and let God receive all of that. Let Goddess, whatever it's supposed to be, get me ready for it. I am going to grow spiritually, because at the end of the day, that's what the path of true love is. It's about your spiritual path. You're gonna have to sacrifice something, perhaps not your resistance to it, but your idea of how you think it's supposed to go. All right then, so mote it be. Thy will be done, whatever you want to call it. I'm here. Because remember, this divine timing with the Coyote, the Trickster, it could be a bitch. It could be a real hard thing, and something that might make you want to say, fuck this, I'm out. Which is a life-changing decision. I never tell people what to do. I'm not saying stay or go. Only you know whether to stay or go. But deep down, right? That's our Celtic Cross. We're going to get, thankfully, so glad they recommended this, from the voices of the higher selves of all involved, a Whisper of Love Oracle. Nice deep breath, please. One more. Oh, my higher self, you're in this one too, aren't you? Yeah. One more for me. Still point. The higher selves of all involved, please. One card in clarity. A Whisper of Love Oracle for this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for February 2020, please. Just one card in clarity for them. A message from the higher self. A whisper of love for them on the path, February 2020. Receive with love and appreciation. Receiving something lovingly from others is a way of showing love. I feel like the gods are giving you something here that you're just supposed to receive it, not knowing what it is. Like a wrapped gift. Like, you may have an idea what this relationship is. It feels like a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise romance, at least in the making, maybe the return of one, because we do have that resolution and forgiveness in the past with that Ten of Blades. We're going to do an overview in a few minutes, but like that's kind of grabbing my attention there. So receive with love and appreciation. Now, from this lover, from friends, always you want to receive. You say to people who are very stoic that they're all about giving all the time. Like, if you don't let people give to you, you're not giving them the opportunity to have that good feeling, right? So receive, will you? Giving and receiving are one in truth. Course in Miracles, Google it, all right? So very interesting card to come up. Receive with love and appreciation, but I also get the feeling that because of that divine timing, that so look at what you don't want to receive and get like, oh, that's probably the thing I have to at least receive and appreciate now, more likely later. Hey, it's a learning curve for everybody. Let's get you a Healing Mantra card from the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. One side of the card is the mantra, the other the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the bookie book. Wonderful little bookie book. I love. This is the newest one. Of course, it's my new favorite. It's new. It can't be a new favorite. It's not new. From the Voices of the Ascended Masters. These have been a little on point consistently, which is why I'm still using them in the readings. So take a nice deep breath. Let's tune to the Ascended Masters and get you a healing mantra for all of this. Nice deep breath. Still point. My Ascended Masters of True Love, there you are. I was like clicking on a TV. Hi, my Ascended Masters of True Love. Please, one card, a healing mantra, the perfect, most helpful healing mantra for this Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising Venus sign on the path of true love for February 2020. Please, what is the perfect healing mantra for them, us? Because I'm one of them. Let's see what we got. Growing beyond guilt. Growing beyond guilt. I gotta say, this is about this Trickster and Divine Timing card. Because I know this one. I've gotten this one as a daily a couple of times. It couldn't have happened any other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. That's what I mean about the quantum, about the divine plan. They're the same thing. Right? Different ways, left brain, right brain way of looking at it all, right? It couldn't have happened any other way. Growing beyond guilt. Now remember, we've got this forgiveness in the past. So it's not like forgiveness is unknown to you. It's definitely woven into this relationship, whether this is a person come back that you've forgiven before or not. You might have just come out of something, of a big forgiveness lesson, and are now flying high with a new romantic prospect. But growing beyond guilt, with that card of jealousy and healing down here, in your lesson position, with the Hangman reversal, with spiritual growth, seeing it differently, this is like very Course in Miracles terrain. I would suggest checking out the work of Matt Kahn in particular, but also anything Course in Miracles related, but be careful. There are a billion Course in Miracles teachers, and their opinions on what the Course means varies greatly. Usually people start with Marianne Williams, just because she's really famous and just ran for president. But also the work of Gary Renard is really good too, Disappearance of the Universe. I've read everything that I wanted to read and will never stop reading. So let me actually read you from the booklet here. Growing Beyond Guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way. Hold on. EF. Growing Beyond Guilt. It couldn't have happened any other way. When you grow beyond guilt, there is a heartfelt acceptance that any sequence of events unfolds in a perfect flow that is organized and expressed by the universe. This takes the pressure of control off your shoulders so you can enjoy the way in which life has come to be. Since everything is destined to change and can only change you for the better, growing beyond guilt enables you to see how exquisitely the gift of life unfolds. This mantra is ideal for releasing the past, unhooking from karmic patterns, and forgiving yourself. It couldn't have happened any other way, because it couldn't have happened any other way, even with they say, infinite variations of quantum probability. You experienced the one you experienced because it was the best variable probability possibilities for the evolution of your soul. A powerful life-changing decision apparently going on for you. This couldn't have happened any other way. And I would say again, with that spiritual growth, with that hangout, with the card of reversal, keep feeling this. I don't feel like you need to make this decision today. But let's look at the overview. Magic clap. We start you off in the position of the cover with the Ten of Blades with Divine Guidance, which is just such that lovely feeling of connection. I felt that so many times in my life. It's probably why I'm a mystic. I just love that feeling of ecstasy and bliss that comes along and sometimes from divine guidance. And the situation you're in, the environment, the Three of Pentacles, molding the clay with freedom. So you have a lot of leeway and creativity here in terms of physically what you want to do, to take the raw material of clay and shape it into something beautiful and hopefully practical, as the clay woman does. It can also be something beautiful and just beautiful, but will it be something durable in terms, since we're looking at the crown there, at a romance. But moving into the third position, the core here, we have again a Chokmah, the desert goddess of decisions with power, that this is a life changer, or at least you're putting your heart and your head on the line in terms of what decisions you want to make in with relationships in general right now, considering here what's in your behind, so to speak, what's behind you on the path, is that Ten of Blades, that resolution with forgiveness. Now, if this is a sense of relationship recidivism, where in the fifth position, the crown, we've got this sunny disposition of a romance, maybe a new romance coming in. This is somebody returned that you already had forgiven in the past and have resolution with. Then that card of the Trickster in the sixth position with divine timing means, well, there's either going to be a big delay in this playing out the way that you want, or in time you will see that there isn't something so wonderful and fun going on here. So that's why do make sure that you are tuning into your intuition, right? Because there, particularly with the card of the sun in that crowning position with romance, you may be seeing very, very clearly, but that might not mean that the other people involved see it as clearly as you are. In fact, you're sort of giving them new ideas and inspiration here in this eighth position. But as I really go from that place of forgiveness and resolution through the freedom and the Three of Pentacles, the clay woman, that brings you, because that's the timeline, right? The 6, the 2, and the 4. The 4, the 4, the 2, and the 6, the even numbers, that there's a tricky divine timing here, but it really depends on whether or not, okay, I hear you, depends on whether or not this trickster is the divine timing itself, or in time you will find that there is a trick being played on you, either by a person, which I'm not really feeling with that forgiveness in the background, in the past so much. You're in a really good place here. But from that place of the sun and the crown with romance, that this is a divine timing thing, that the gods are trying to teach you something. And perhaps that impatience that comes with jealousy is what we're looking at, right? That impatience of, well, when do we get to be together? This damn divine timing thing, so that you have time to heal in that seventh position of a lesson. And and it sucks. You either love divine timing or you hate it, depending on whether you're getting what you want or not, right? So keep that in mind. You have to go through this. It is something that is scripted, particularly as I look at that destiny card. We'll get there, though. Because from the outside looking in, how the world sees you as this Gemini self-expressive third house energy, right? Communicating ideas and inspiration. I mean, very much from that place of divine guidance and ecstasy in your cover card with the sun and romance. You could be lighting up the world right now. That's a big purpose to carry, and allow it to flow through you, because where you are on the path is the manifestation of emotional release. And that could very much be more about the one cup standing that was found than the 3 that were knocked over by the regular cyclic tides of life. It really depends on how, well, okay, I'm hearing this too, that no matter what manifests, it's going to be the narrative that you give it that really does depend. It will all depend. It will change your emotional state. So really, coming from this place, it might just be the divine timing is such a bummer. If you don't know it's divine timing, if you can keep your eye for it and go, oh, this is the divine timing thing. Okay, this is tricky, but I can manage it. Let me heal my emotional stuff, whether it's jealousy or guilt, right? Because, you know, growing beyond guilt, maybe you've forgiven everyone else, not yourself. Very, very possible. It couldn't have happened any other way, particularly with that card of spiritual growth. With the card of reversal, the hanged man, in this case the hanged woman, sort of surrendering and saying, okay, this couldn't have happened any other way, I surrender, but that doesn't mean it has to be a passive surrender. That with this self-expression, this Gemini stuff, where you are, this emotional stuff coming through you, that Four of Cups with manifestation, where you are on the path of true love in terms of your destiny, and that emotional healing Seven of Cups in your lesson position, your seventh position, all says that this is a very active surrender to your spiritual growth, but keeping in mind that it's all about receiving with love and appreciation from the divine, that what is coming for you, if it's not exactly what you want in the timing that you want it, it is to make you stronger, to make you better, to prepare you for that. There is only better coming, so the divine timing thing is to your benefit. And remember, when you get stuck, you do have a mantra. It couldn't have happened any other way. And there we have it, my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. I can even feel pieces of myself here. My Pisces moon is registering with that staff a little more. We'll go into that myself in meditation later. But let me give you the blessing, because I'm in it too. May the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love to experience and bask in the beautiful, happy sun of romance at their crown, and the divine guidance fountaining through them like ecstasy as they contemplate this powerful life-changing decision within, coming from a place of resolution and forgiveness, with the freedom to mold the clay of their lives, that there's some tricky divine timing dealio going on, that we all be at grace with that we can let go and go with the flow, heal our emotions, inspire others through our self-expression, manifest whatever sort of emotional shifts need to happen, and receive with love and appreciation. Receive our innocence, receive the love, receive the lesson with love and appreciation, because it couldn't have happened any other way. May we all please be blessed with this. My gods, my goddesses, my angels, my masters, and my higher selves. May we be blessed with this on the path of true love, February 2020, and really for all time, for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Whew, thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm the fun one, and that was deep, and I'm glad I got it out on the table, because I'm going to play this one back and look at it in a couple of days. Cool, cool. Thank you so much for watching. Wishing you the very best and very blessed, as I always do when I sign off. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.